Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primecast Live. I'm your host, Will Schick, and I'm here with a new co-host today.
Temporary co-host.
Co-host, Oz Schoonover, our development manager. And so we are ready to kick off episode 53, or as I like to call it, just episode 3, because this is our third one of Primecast Live, and it feels like an entirely different series.
The chat says I should say something, so Privateer Press knows I'm here.
Do it.
Hi.
Sweet. That was... I thought it was going to be more epic than that.
No.
But it turned out not to be.
I'm keeping it...
You keeping it low-key?
I gotta save all the energy for, talking about minutia and
I don't know about this. This is very different.
All those things. Yeah, it's...
The ramp up is... You got to start hard. You got to come in, aggressively.
So John tested your normal level and then your excited level.
Yeah.
And then he tested my normal level.
To be fair...
And didn't ask for my excited level.
To be fair, John tested my mid-excited level and then told me don't go higher than that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, and John just told us, remember, there are no drums. It's all live.
Yeah, this...
Thanks, John. I do remember that.
Yeah.
No, we got that.
If you're used to the regular Primecast and haven't tuned in for one of these yet, or you're watching this on YouTube later, this is happening all right now, for real, live. It's not being edited later.
That's right. It's literally anything could happen.
There's some Primecast that there's some interesting conversations that got removed from the thing because we decided we didn't want to say that early.
That's true.
Or like somebody went on a weird tangent, or you said inappropriate words.
Why does it always come back to me doing something inappropriate? I am the most appropriate person ever.
There's video evidence of you.
There's no video. It doesn't exist.
So yeah.
It doesn't exist.
So we're going to do this
These
live.
Are lies.
You're going to get to see the transitions between the segments where the drums would normally play, and it would go and
I'm gonna do my best to try to magic the transitions in.
Yeah.
So John, you gotta work with me, man.
Yeah.
You gotta work with me.
I'll do what I can.
Okay. I feel like you're just totally gonna hose me on this, and I'm gonna be like doing this, and you're gonna be like, yeah, it's totally working. It's not gonna work. It's just rude. It's rude. All right, so let's talk about what's coming up for this episode.
Sure.
So we're gonna start off like we always do with new releases.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what's coming out this month. I gotta be honest, I'm pretty excited for May because it's Big Blighted Ogrun month, and I love me some Big Blighted Ogrun.
I'm more excited about the other thing that's hiding on that chair.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We'll be there in a
Okay,
second.
well, we're gonna...
Yeah, we'll get there real fast.
Color me intrigued, which I'm not sure what color that is, but...
It's one of the...
It's one of the colors? Okay.
Never mind.
Gotcha, yeah. And then we're gonna talk about some Iron Kingdom's Imran minutiae.
Yeah.
We're going to bring in, do we know, John, who we're bringing in yet? Or is it still Seacat? All right, so Mr. Seacat is going to join us. We're going to talk about whatever Mr. Doug would like to talk about, and it's always entertaining and interesting. Then we're going to bring in Hungerford.
Yep, Struggle of Wills.
And we're going to have some Struggle of Wills.
Yeah, Pagani's out of town today.
He's in Texas, right?
He had to go back to Texas to be given baby gifts.
Yeah, baby gifts. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I bet you they're great.
If he doesn't come back with the biggest stroller,
like a Texas-sized stroller,
I'll be real disappointed. Yeah.
It'll happen.
It will.
We'll make it happen. And then we're going to bring in JR to talk about Lock and Load, Gen Con, all of the good shows that are coming up here really soon over the summer. And then we'll wrap it up, talk about kind of what to expect for next episode, and maybe cover what else we have, random thoughts in our heads. And it's going to happen.
It might be real random by then.
It might be real random
by then. It might be delirious by then.
It is Friday, and it is our firstest of Fridays. So
it is.
Everyone's pretty hype around here. We're going to grill. It was supposed to be like 70 degrees and nice, and then Seattle was like, this is Seattle.
Well,
rain!
It's been doing this thing where the week it gets warm. It gets to like 70 in the week, and you're like, the weekend's going to be... And then it rains and it's 55
and then
degrees
it goes,
on the weekend.
oh, wait, no, you live here.
Yeah. I prefer these weekends.
Sadness.
The rainy ones.
You prefer the rainy weekends?
Yeah.
That's fair.
But if Jason Martin busts in here with cheeseburgers, then
that would be the bomb.
That's just gonna happen.
Primecast cheeseburgers?
Yes.
Be amazing.
Prime burgers.
We need a burger bar. Next episode, burger bar.
I don't know why you're pointing at me.
Because this is your show, John.
I know, but you got to point to J-Mark to make that happen.
No. We're gonna have a burger bar next episode. I'm determined of this. And then throughout the episode, we'll just make different burgers and eat them on stream.
It'll be like a cooking show.
This will be great. I like it. All right, we're going wildly off tangent.
Okay.
So let's kick it in. Yeah, we don't have any drums, but I'm gonna do the drums, and then we're gonna go to new releases. So. See, it's like perfect. All right. So. New releases. What do we got coming out here?
We have, this list is full of Blighted Ogrun.
So full. Yeah, I know.
It's all the Blighted Ogrun
It's
stuff.
well, yeah, it's Blighted Ogrun stuff. They're not all Blighted Ogrun though. There are a couple of like feathery friends on there.
So
Blighted Ogrun and their feathery friends.
Sure, but
that's what we should have called the theme for.
Since I'm in the development department, we think of things in buckets.
Oh, I see.
And
in
Blighted
buckets.
Ogrun CID.
Blighted Ogrun buckets sounds
stuff.
disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, it's full of viscera.
Viscera?
All manner of goos are in there. Some feathers. There's some
feathers. You
because
gotta mix in some feathers.
the very first thing on here that's not the box of everything.
Wait, no. Let's talk about that. Talk about the box of everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm back now. So John has his special 3D effects again.
Oh, 3D effects.
So I'm going to ask everyone on stream to put on your 3D glasses now.
Oh, it's got contents in it. I imagined it would be
I'm glad they're all
empty.
broken. No, it's definitely full. This is a real one.
Oh, it's sealed and everything.
I know. It's that's why it's three-dimensional.
Someone may buy this box later.
Yeah. All right, so
yeah,
awesome Blighted Ogrun Theme Force box. This is a great way to start your Ogrun Force, especially even for me. Like one of the things I like about this box is, so I've had the Ogrun Warmongers for a while, but I only have one unit because running 2 was kind of madness back in the day. Like you really just needed one. You wanted more, but you needed one. So like the new box has Goreg Rotnai in it, who's amazing. When attached with the Blighted Ogrun Warmongers. I mean, he literally just stood behind a wooden fence in my last game of Company of Iron against JR this last Tuesday, and he still had a huge impact on the game because he just withering gazed everyone.
It's because he's missing an eye and it's real creepy.
Oh, I assumed that was because he had a fisherman's hat on and he was giving people bad life advice.
No.
Like Tim the Tool Man, you know?
Oh, no,
Wilson.
you mean Wilson.
You mean the neighbor,
Wilson.
Wilson.
You mean Wilson. Yeah.
I mean, did he ever give good advice though?
I don't know. I didn't watch.
And then it's got the blighted rotwings in it.
Little birdies.
Sweet. Yeah.
Little
birdies. Little birdies that could. So
that can actually go on the opposite side of Oz.
What?
You could pass that this way.
Oh, you want me to pass it this way? I wanted Doug to deal with it though. I wanted him to be like, there are Blighted Ogrun in my seat. What do I do?
Yeah.
You think you just sit down?
I'm nice like that.
He'd be taller. He'd just be like a booster seat.
Until he crushed it. That'd be good.
Well, you've already shaken it to pieces.
All right, so now that we talked about the box that's coming out, go through the individuals for us.
Golab is not in that box.
He's not.
Golab is the heavy war beast that's like a giant vulture that exists inside that box. That exists inside that faction, sorry. And Golab is the thing you're looking at on screen.
Boom!
And it's the personal war beast of the Worklock that's also
The Worklock?
So I almost said Warcaster. Everything.
I like Worklock.
Everything's a Warcaster, but technically it's a Warlock.
I feel like that's how Golab probably talks. Worklock!
Yeah.
Worklock!
Yeah. So
that's the noise he makes?
Yeah.
It always sounds like he's got something in his throat.
So he's a great, big, giant, scary bird.
Blighted bird.
Which Dallas was painting yesterday on the stream for part of it. He was finishing his up.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he's not a dragon spawn like a normal beast in the faction.
He's not.
He's a vulture that's been enlarged by the blight and made super creepier.
Blight largement.
I don't think that's a word.
It is now.
Sure. And he's got some cool abilities, and he works well alongside the little vulture.
Well,
buddies.
he especially works well with the new Legion Warlock.
And then, yes, Animag the Doom Feaster, female Ogrun Warlock, who's using her blighted energies to do interesting things in the faction.
Yeah.
Collecting heads on spikes, also, that kind of stuff.
Well, one of the things I like about Animag from a story perspective is that, you know, those people who have played the IKRPG know that Ogrun can't be gifted.
Yeah, they're not inherently magical.
But Animag was shamanistic beforehand, so she was able to tap into like natural energies and stuff. And then, of course, that kind of brought her to prominence among Everblight, and now she's all warlocky, and she likes to keep people's heads on her pole.
She does.
For just reasons. Nobody really knows why, but they're there. And she has to refresh them all the time.
Well,
I mean, it's
Doug,
a tough life.
We can ask Doug about that.
We can ask Doug about that. What's up with heads on poles?
Yeah. And then Gorag Rotnai, which we've already mentioned.
Yep.
He's the command attachment for the Warmongers. Yeah. He's awesome.
You just want to drop everybody's defense by 2 in his command range. They can look at him. Legit.
Remember in Grimkin when there was that tiny little imp guy who can like creep you
spoon
out?
Imp.
Yeah. Well, Gorag's got the same ability, but Gorag's real awesome in like melee and all of it. Like, just imagine that little spoon imp times 100 with like a giant stick.
It's a much bigger spoon.
You mean the Glimmer Imp?
Yeah, but the spoon imp is... He's got a spoon.
He is very spoony.
Let him be a spoon. Still one of my favorite models and characters in the IK.
Oh, good question real quick, though, from Sabian. Does Animag have an I think, however you say it.
I'll ask Doug about that.
I think she does. I'm pretty sure that she got a shard embedded in her.
Who knows?
It took a little bit of conversation. It took some debate to do that, but yeah, it got plugged in.
Doug knows.
Into the draconic USB port that
and then
all blighted creatures have. It's an upgrade. You can take it out, put it back in at will.
I'm going to try this sentence again. And then my favorite unit in this entire CID, the Blighted Rotwings.
The Blighted Rotwings are your favorite unit in the entire CID?
I really like it when we get to see things in the setting that aren't soldiers and war beasts, like animals.
Just corrupted creatures.
Yeah. And if you're running an IKRPG campaign or something like that, and you just want some weird little creatures for things to come at you, like Ed would always, back in the RPG testing, throw burrow mobs.
Burrow mobs were like Ed's favorite thing ever.
Yeah, we fought so many burrow mobs. But there's no burrow mog model.
It's like, you go to the tavern, you sit down to have a drink, you look into your mug, burrow mogs!
Yeah. So things like this.
He was a monster.
Yeah, little things that exist in a setting that are more like natural creatures are fun things to have. And they give you interesting little wings for like conversion. They do. Bits. You want to make all your grotesques angels instead of bat winged? You could do that with these guys.
I mean, they'd be like little cherubs.
Yeah, they'd be
wings
awesome.
aren't that big.
Sure, they'd be little,
I like it, little
ugly
dudes
cherubs
flying around.
Yeah.
These guys are going to go great with my carrion thralls just on the.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You have some bird on bird action.
Hot bird on bird action.
No, these guys are cold.
No, and the carrion thralls would be cold because they're dead. These are still alive.
These are wintry,
Blighted
though.
blood it runs hot. It has to be hot. We have so many questions for Doug now. So many questions.
And then the final thing on that list of Ogrun things is Amok the Truthbearer.
Yep.
Who's an Ogrun solo with a gigantic can of something on his shoulder.
It's not a can. It's like a big old scroll box.
You were supposed to say like whoop ass or something.
A can of I don't swear. I am very PG.
Oh yeah. I don't think that's
I'm basically a Sesame Street character. Okay. I teach you all how to count.
Voices are coming out.
I need someone who is very skilled with felt to make a Will Schick Muppet.
Oh my. If you make me a Muppet,
I need a
if somebody
Muppet.
makes me like a solid Muppet that looks like me, I will use it for the finals at Lock and Load's like live stream. I will use it. It will be me. It'll just be a Muppet.
There you go, community. Bring me a Schick puppet.
I want to be a Muppet so bad.
Also, he's almost already a Muppet.
We don't even need to cover this show anymore. Let me just go over the list
Yeah.
of all the reasons I want to be a Muppet.
If we took this velvety stuff, cut eye holes in it, and threw it over Schick,
that is not the same thing.
It'd be the same thing.
No.
Basically. So the last thing on our list is No Quarter Prime number 5.
Yes, and we've actually been previewing content from this for like the last month.
Yeah, you guys have seen a lot of this on the Tuesday live.
You and I played a Company of Iron game with the new update. Why don't you tell people about that?
So that is letting journeymen into the game as super Jack Marshals.
Yep.
So you get access to everybody, including Wrong Eye and Snapjaw and all those kind of guys. And then weapon crews as a standard option you can use in any army. They are real slow, but they shoot real far.
They are pretty scary as the game that we played will attest. Like your cannon definitely messed me up a lot. And then is 5 also the one that gives Khador their big friendly jacks?
That article, since in the Man of War CID, we tweaked some stuff about the Berserker chassis, so the Mad Dog and the Rager also. We dropped their hit points and we played around with some other things about them, so I tossed them in a Company of Iron too. So all those Khador players out there who've been excited to get Warjacks finally, that's going to happen in
definitely makes Malikov a more exciting option once you can take a Jack with him.
Well, and the Forge Seer and some other models that really need a Warjack to be able to use some of their abilities.
Sure.
Yeah. But also, it was Tuesday last week, not this week, that we played Arcanist with Hungerford.
Yes.
And that's the brand new No Quarter game that's in number 5.
That game is awesome. It might be my favorite No Quarter game.
To me, it's a toss-up between that and wrestling.
Wrestling is really cool. The only sad part about wrestling, though, is you can't have an 8-person madness event with wrestling very easily.
Yeah.
But you can with Arcanist. And it goes super fast. And it's just zany. Anytime you can just start throwing some poor sap at your opponent and be like, no, fight him. And then they throw him back.
I'm going to see
it's just good old-fashioned fun.
12 people play Arcanist in Lock and Load.
It's going to happen.
And I might organize it some nights.
It's just going to be madness.
Yeah.
It's going to be such madness. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And then you get to scream a lot of classic quotes, as you lightning zap the person to death.
What's the classic quote? Does it have anything to do with what day?
It does. It does.
Okay, cool.
I think I'm not allowed. I don't know.
I have to stay.
They know.
Something about ultimate power?
Yeah, something about.
We have to stay on target for this stream.
We do.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what happens to people who stay on target, right? They get blown up.
No,
So every time somebody tells me that, I'm like, do you remember what the lesson was to
don't
that?
they win? No,
That
the
guy doesn't.
The guy who yells "stay on target" isn't he the guy that gets blown up? I don't know. We're diverging.
They all get blown up.
There's and in that no quarter, there's other stuff. There's more fiction.
There's
There's also more
cover.
information on these.
There's a lot
these
more
Legion
information
models.
on the Blighted Legion or the Blighted Ogrun theme force. There's the next installment of Fire and Forge. There's hostile territory.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember what that one covers.
That's the land. I think that's the landmine.
Is it the landmine one? Okay.
It's the landmine one.
So it'll show you how to make landmines and use them in your game. Lots of awesome content in that. And then one thing that is not on our list, but I feel like we have to address because we're like, I'm all hype about Blighted Ogrun.
Yeah.
Is people out there who are probably waiting for them notice that we haven't mentioned the Cav at all.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that they're going to come out next month. Those models are friggin' incredible. They're so big and
If I'm
awesome.
not mistaken, I believe those ones hit the street the second week of June.
Yeah.
I think they're part of the first release.
So if you're like, oh, you missed the most important bit of it, I agree, but we didn't. So yeah.
Yeah. They've been floating around the building in different ways in production and stuff, and they're
Dallas
pretty,
was painting one of those as well on the live
they're
stream
pretty awesome
yesterday.
models.
Yesterday?
Speaking of
There
painting,
you go. Yeah.
It's not on our list.
It's not on the list because we just announced these actually as being available because they just showed up in our warehouse. But we also have 5 of the new paints that Dallas has been talking about.
Are you putting them right under our names?
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right-
I'm going to hold
right
them up
where-
though. Hold
right
on.
where no one
I don't
can
know if will it matter if I bring them back to here?
No.
See,
our
yeah,
names
I
cover
gotta
most of
do this.
everything.
So
Okay.
we've got Inferno Orange, which is the amazing new orange color that wants to
Good
jump
catch.
out of my hand.
Yeah.
I know. Look at that. So yeah, this is our first true orange color
Yeah.
because all the other oranges, like Kato Red Highlight is probably the closest orange we have in the range, but it's still a red orange, and this is just a true flat
And Heartfire is much
orange
more yellow.
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great for painting your pumpkins, or any of that sweet Crucible Guard glow.
Speaking of pumpkins,
Yeah, bring it out.
this is an
Do it.
orange. This is an orange ink.
Yes.
It's called Blazing Ink. It's an orange ink, and it's also good for pumpkins.
Yes, it's
I've
great
heard.
for pumpkin. No, it's great for pumpkins. I actually
don't
used
know.
it on my pumpkin.
It's
heads,
also really good for the glow for Crucible.
on my dread
Guard.
rots. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
also
yeah.
used as the basically the translucent layer for the Crucible Guard glow, which I think we have a video from Brendan that's coming out sometime
Very
soon.
soon. Yep.
Because I just reviewed that. So those two kind of work in conjunction really well. They also allow you to do a lot of really cool stuff. I think the Office personal favorite right now is Eldritch.
Which they can't see because it's green and we use a green screen.
Oh, yeah.
Is it magic?
My
Is it
hand is
glowing
invisible.
and
Wait,
weird?
wait. He's been shot in the head. Oh no. Okay.
Nice.
Anyway,
Jesus.
Nice.
What?
That's amazing. I love that.
I know it's great.
I just
you
want
can still see it. I mean,
No, it
sort
looks
of.
like a pot of.
It does
looks
look like a pot of
black
light.
paint.
Now it's better. Yeah.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Cool. Sorry, we're on a delay. So Eldritch is a turquoise, is a greener turquoise.
And all the swatches are up.
All the
as well as
swatches
the
are
paints.
online. This
Store.preptopress.com.
Eldritch is the primary color for Crucible Guard
Yep.
armor, so it's a really big one. It also can be used for like Retribution colors and the glow and stuff like that. Super useful. Everyone's really
My
hyped.
Fane Knights are getting Eldritch.
Everyone's really excited for that color. Boiler Black is another one.
This one's probably my favorite.
This one is
I love Deathless Metal.
is one of our new semi-metallics.
Yeah.
So it's not a true metallic. It's like half and half. It's a really dark, like rich kind of black. If you imagine a really sooty kind of boiler, that's you can
Yeah.
kind of tell that it's still shiny, but it's just dirty as
So
all get
think
up.
think like either the background on this stream or the texture behind the nameplate.
Yeah, similar.
So what the Eldritch look like? It's almost the exact same.
Wait, Eldritch? Eldritch doesn't look like.
Well,
what are
on
you
the
talking
stream it
about?
did.
Oh, on the stream, yeah.
'Cause,
yeah,
yeah, the
almost.
background
But there
of
was no
this-
metallic flake.
Yeah.
And then the last one is another semi-metallic, and this is galvanized steel. And this is like a very light blue, almost if you took underbelly
Yeah,
and
it's-
cold steel and mixed
yeah.
them half and half. That's kind of the color you get. So it's really interesting. I like it a lot.
It's good for a bright muted metal.
It's kind of like if you wanted to do, a certain Avenger shield. You could use it for the whiter parts of that.
Alternately, if you have a bright metallic, like
Yeah.
the swords on the Fane Knights,
Oh yeah.
you could use a layer of that, and then you could make the Eldritch into a glaze effect over it to give it that kind of.
It's true. Yeah, so there's a lot of neat.
Retribution-y
The
glow.
semi-metallics are going to continue to grow. There's a few more of them that they worked on. All of
Yeah.
them are really cool and very unique. There's not a whole lot of semi-metallic stuff going on. So So super awesome there. So that wraps up a really long new release section.
We had a lot of stuff to talk
I know,
about.
we did. So we're going to move right into Imran Minutiae and bring on Mr. Seacat to answer all of our burning questions.
But first we have to transition.
Oh yeah, ready, John? Wait. He probably has to sit down first, right?
No.
Before we transition.
No, we have to go. Oh, magic.
Magic.
Aren't you supposed to say magic words when you do magic transitions?
No, there's no need for that.
Imagine there are drums playing right now.
Imagine drums. I
Imagine
like
it.
Yeah.
We don't always
What's up,
have to make
Doug?
the drums
How you
real
doing?
I'm good.
with something.
I feel like they've heard it enough. They can figure it out.
Yeah, that's why I said imagine, because everybody has those drums stuck in their head.
All right, Mr. Doug.
Hey.
You got to speak, man.
I'm here. I'm ready
Yeah.
to talk.
All right, so first question.
But I can't look at you. I have to just talk into the microphone.
Wait, no, you look there.
Are you-
The eyeball.
Yeah, I can look there.
Are you giving?
But I'm not allowed to look at you.
But you have to look seductively at the eyeball.
I can't do that. I keep that in reserve.
All right, so first question.
Well, I was about to say, I feel like we're going to almost need a whole segment just to correct all the nonsense and mistakes you
What?
guys just made.
No nonsense and no mistakes. Oh, Oz is reaching.
I'm gonna put these with where I put
Okay.
those.
Nobody
Sure.
could see them in the first place, but
I
that's
know.
fair.
But yeah, we can have a few Ogrun questions if you
All right,
would
well,
like.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Correct us.
we-
Correct us.
Are we gonna
Well-
intro this segment first?
Tell us.
so-
Didn't I do that?
No.
Imran
Oh, it's
Minutia.
Imran Minutia with Doug Seacat.
I'm Doug Seacat.
Everything you ever wanted to know about all the minutia of the Iron Kingdoms.
Well, and part of my job is continuity, so I have to try to keep you guys in check.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if anyone's taking us as points of authority on this, I
Well,
mean,
that's fair. But
their fault.
But I just like Animag. The heads on her spear
Yeah.
are actually her former husbands.
oh.
So-
Well, then how was I wrong? I just simply said
No, I'm
she
just saying
refreshes
they
the
weren't
heads,
they
right?
weren't random heads. Like they
all
were
right.
very
That's
specific
fine.
people whose heads she cut off
Now-
and put on a spear.
now why?
And they can still talk,
Oh.
which I think is pretty creepy.
That's
Is it the blight
That's
that's
weird.
making them talk,
So-
or just
It's
like-
more Animag.
what do they talk about?
I imagine they complain about not having bodies.
Do they just
but
talk to each other, or do they talk to her?
I think she talks to them. Like
So, like, she murdered her husband.
she murdered her husbands because they were bothering her, but she kind of
left
wanted
them
she wanted
around
to,
so they could bother her
Yeah, she
further?
wanted to keep them around. I think they probably talk back less now.
Oh, sure. Can
And
she like silence them with
Probably,
magic?
yeah. She can just have them shut
Okay.
up. So,
Make 'em stop.
It's pretty creepy. She is one of the creepiest characters I think we've ever made, especially with her little vulture friend that she hangs around.
Go
with.
lab.
Yeah, her
Big
giant
vulture.
blighted vulture that she feeds meat from her own mouth sometimes.
Well, this is
it's
how
a bird.
birds eat.
Sure, it's
You
just how
want
you
to
do it.
foster that mother bird.
Well, it
bond.
probably started when it was a cute little,
Yeah.
little vulture.
Was that inspired by something that occurred at a Christmas party 2 years ago?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying that is part of the lore.
I mean, I baby bird feed all my friends.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I mean, that's just called politeness.
Yeah.
And then I think we were talking about, you guys were wondering about the can of whoop ass or whatever. on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
back
yeah.
Yeah. I said it wasn't a can. I got your back on that. It's like
Yeah.
a big drum.
It is.
It's
It is
it's a runic drum.
It's called a malahedron, so it has a fancy name.
How many sides does a malahedron have?
That's a good question.
Only
Well, it
bad
has
ones.
it has like spinny parts, and it seems complicated.
Uh-huh.
It's almost more like sort of a Rubik's cube of kick ass, of
I
ass
see,
kicking.
I see.
So-
do you have to unlock the Rubik's
I think you
Cube,
do
or-
have to I think you can set it to various settings,
Okay.
and but it like radiates badness and it's
crazy.
This, yeah, and crazy. It makes
Yeah.
it makes even crazy people crazier. And so far, the current person holding it, whose name just
Amok?
Amok, yeah, Amok the Truth Bearer. He's the only one who was the right kind of crazy to be able to carry it around.
Well, isn't like most people who touch it, don't they like turn to ash or something
it's
terrible?
bad. Yeah, something bad happens.
Like the madness is so strong,
Yeah.
your
Or-
molecules just go, no, we're out.
Yeah,
We're gone.
And so he's like in the setup, it's described that like Everblight was trying to find somebody who could bring it back so that he could use it, and nobody could come back. And so Amok's the first one that was able to kind of bring this thing back. So anyway, that's sort of the pre-segment.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's another more
So our real segment.
What's that?
Is that another?
Yeah, it's
thing?
another Mordic thing.
Like
And-
the hex blades and other things that you
Right,
had?
and Rapture, Thargarosh's sword was sort of a Mordic design, originally built maybe to fight dragons, and so he likes Mordic toys, and sends people to go get them sometimes. But yeah, the thing I was originally going to talk about, which we can just talk about a little bit, is we had talked about the Order of the Golden Crucible a little bit, and I feel like I came at it from a different angle before, where we talked kind of about the advantages of for mad scientists of the Order of the Golden Crucible and its new iteration.
Right.
But I think there's a dark side of that we haven't really discussed, which is the tremendous degradation of like safety standards and humanitarian standards in the new Crucible Guard.
OSHA need not apply.
Well, it makes you wonder because you look back on the old Order of the Golden Crucible, and I imagine they had all kinds of review boards. There was like a lot of paperwork. Like you had to submit
just miles of red tape.
Well, and you had to submit proposals for projects. Like you're like what I imagine is Lucas Demore, coming before the advisory board, and they want to know, okay, so what do you got? What do you have that we can turn into a nice commercial product?
Right.
And he's like, well, I've been working on a serum that can make warcasters. And they'd be like, oh, well, that sounds good.
Sounds amazing.
That sounds promising. You
Yeah.
could probably make a good bit of coin on that. So how's that going so far? And he'd be like, well, we've been gathering the pineal glands and the adrenal glands of Burrow-Moggs. That's you mentioned Burrow-Moggs earlier.
Yeah.
Burrow-Moggs is how you get
that's how you get the serum?
some of these serums
Dude,
that Lucas
hyped up on
Demore
Burrow-Mogg adrenal gland just sounds
and then he's like,
amazing.
they're like, so how's that going? And he's like, well, it's killed everybody we've given it to so far.
Are they giving it to people though, or is he just like monkeys?
I'm not
monkeys?
entirely sure, but everybody.
All of our lab monkeys have died.
Everybody he gave it to
Horribly.
died.
There aren't monkeys in the IKEA. There's only
So,
boraxes.
so I just imagine
monkeys?
the review board was just like, no, stamping
They're like
that.
disapproved.
No, disapproved. You do have no approval to make the Warcaster serum, and so he just kind of like left and did it on his own, and then gave some of it to his wife, who became a transforming monster. And, I think all of this was done with no approval of the review boards, the humanitarian board.
Who needs
the
oversight?
Aurum Humanitas.
Aurum Humanitas? Is that one of the
That's one.
functions?
Yeah, it's one of the guys that makes sure that they.
Well, I mean, that's why you go to Ord, right? They relocated to
they
a place
relocate.
where basically Baird has no scruples.
Oh, no.
He's
And-
just whatever.
Because I just have to think something like the transfer would not have happened in the older Order of the Golden Crucible. You get through a couple of committees with your idea, and you're talking about, okay, so we managed to get a hold of and dissect some cephalix, and I think maybe we've got some ideas we could apply, maybe try to tap into some of those deeper psionic powers that seem to be in humanity that only these weird beings that have evolved in isolation for like 10,000 years can access. Why don't we make our own psychic monsters? And again, I think the review board would be like, no.
Well,
Maybe
not
in
allowed.
your project marketing, don't call them psychic monsters.
Well, yeah, okay.
And
You
when-
probably try to spin it.
when your list of side effects involves death,
yeah,
and then it says comma painful, then they probably don't like
well, yeah,
that.
you got your death,
Frequency.
death burning alive, death melting from within, brain melts, body is okay. I mean, I think there's a lot of dubious experimentation that happens to bring us this full army of the Crucible Guard, and I just don't think their safety standards are up to the snuff. We know in the old days they were like, in the lab you had to obey certain procedures with your goggles and your leather.
Now it's a goggleless jungle.
It's a goggleless jungle. I just think the safety standards have really gone down. And what I imagine is when the Grey Lords invaded the Thunderhead Fortress, like those were the guys that went down first.
The safety guys?
Safety board.
Yeah, the safety board. It's like Grey Lords just every one of those guys became a block of ice.
Oh, my. I thought maybe like those would be the guys they took in.
No, I don't.
Done.
Because the Grey Lords have had to deal with that before, I think. Like, back at their headquarters, they had probably their own review board, their own sort of safety standards, and then, they went in and found fell blades. And I think those safety guys were just we don't need you guys
got
anymore.
Accidentally relocated to the coldest portions of the motherland.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just think this is one of those things you have to think about, like when you're creating a military organization, it's important to not get rid of all the people, making sure your people are safe and stay alive.
All right. It's
just a little
things to
advisory
think
panel.
about. Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any other random questions on?
No.
Did we
now.
answer the Authink question?
Yeah, she does not think.
Yeah, it's one of those things we haven't gotten into too much. I think she probably has a very small Authink.
More importantly, all blighted creatures have an Authink USB plug.
Well,
You can confirm that.
you can
confirmed.
You can
No,
insert.
it's confirmed. The
you
segment
can-
is now
you can-
over. It's
you can
USB
stab-
blighted ports have been confirmed. And they're also called USB, Universal System Blight. So thanks for
You
joining us,
can
Doug.
stab anybody with an authink. Yes.
Everyone now knows. Yeah, see, USB port. All of them have it. It's right there. It's part of the design process.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
so
unexpected
there you go.
sudden blight. I like that.
So thank you very much
Yeah,
for joining us,
absolutely.
Mr. Seacat.
You
As
got
always,
it.
a pleasure.
Good to be here.
And we will see you on the next one.
All right, and I will take my leave.
Hold on.
Oh, we got to do some special effects.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. You just vanished in a cloud
All
of
right.
smoke.
Next up, Struggle of Wills. Bringing back our normal co-host, William Hungerford.
Yep. But we are down, like I mentioned in the intro, we're down at Pagani this week.
We're down at Pagani.
He's traveling for various purposes.
Baby reasons.
Baby reasons.
Baby reasons.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that would be a good enough. That's probably why they had the shower in Houston. Not because of any other reason. Just that he wanted some tacos.
There's no shower.
No?
No.
What is it?
They're just going to eat tacos at
Oh,
La
I see.
Tapatia.
I see.
They're going to bowl too.
All right. They're going to bowl?
Yeah,
They're gonna bowl.
it's just a bowling and taco eating vacation.
You can't argue with that.
he's
You got the
obsessed.
time.
That's
Use
a
it.
pretty good vacation.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's begin. Struggle of Wills. Where do we want to start?
So we just made a CID update yesterday.
Yeah.
Just before Pagani left, we pushed an update. And to intro our
Hello.
new guest, you said you said all
did.
kinds of words, but never his name.
I said his
So
name.
you did?
You keep claiming that I'm not doing my job, but I totally am. Now, did I say his name when he sat down? No, I said his name as he was walking down the aisle.
Well, that
Which
was
we
still
need aisle walking
that
music,
was
John.
that was still during drums.
Like, can we get something kind of like, that Price is Right show?
Buy me a soundboard.
I just want you to mouth it. Can you be DJ Mouse Sounds for us and just make the noises?
I have a
Like,
question.
I feel like this is
I
possible.
don't get
Can I-
paid enough for that.
I have a question. What's happening?
DJ Mouth Sounds.
The Struggle of Wills.
Yeah,
Can't you see it?
It's a struggle.
Gearbox Grinds has already told you. There's a lot of L's in that word. I think it says Willis.
Struggle of
Say
Willis.
Willis. That'd be better.
So yes, we are ending the first week of Exemplar CID.
Interdictions.
That's the theme force name.
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
I know, it's here on the sheet.
It's right there.
See it?
And we made a couple of small changes yesterday.
I mean, there were a couple of significant changes in some ways. Bastion's gaining defensive strike.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a pretty big
yeah.
deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're-
yes, because if you put a heavy into them now, they just explode.
yeah.
Like the whole unit, sure.
No, the heavy.
Just one of them.
Yeah,
I know, is what I'm saying.
yeah, you
like,
put a heavy into a
no,
unit
the
of
whole-
Bastions, now
the
they
whole
explode.
unit.
Like Cossites have no chance.
One or two.
By the way, now previously you could charge a unit of Bastions with a single Cossite, and that Cossite could probably not die on your own turn, but now it'll die. So heads up, don't charge single Cossites into Bastions. Pro tip.
But what we're working on is the difference between Bastions and
How
Incinerators.
often was that happening?
Never.
Okay, I was just wondering what the data point was.
My
that-
data from all the
that let you
tournaments
know
and
that-
the events
that
and
Cossites were charging Bastions.
play testing and just being on like social media and reading battle reports was that never actually ever happened.
Can you give us a David Attenborough, like, the Cossite is the Bastion's primary nemesis in the wild?
Well, they are.
yeah, I know. but-
Everyone
Because
knows that.
Bastions are really
Attenborough.
slow to turn around. They can't turn their head
yeah.
because of that armor. And
Yeah.
Cossites ambush. And so if you're in a big suit of armor and like you're looking forward and somebody comes up behind you with like a friggin' bow and arrow and shoots you in the back of the head, like that's clearly your natural predator. But now they have defensive strike, so when they get charged in the back by Cossites, it still doesn't matter.
Defensive strike is only in your front arc.
But it still doesn't matter. I mean, I agree. It still doesn't matter.
But don't charge Cossites into Bastions. They'll die.
Don't really. I mean, at this point, don't charge anything into Bastions.
Well, you could
because-
charge a Colossal.
Sure.
You could charge the brand new Judicator with his Sweet Signs Importance reliquary.
Wait, you're charging your Adjudicator into
To
your
the Bastion.
Bastions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
kill every... No, they're Bastions. There's mirror matches.
Oh, okay.
He'll kill every last one of them.
So, in other words, only ever play against Bastions with Protectorate.
No, there's other things you can put in there.
Oh, okay.
Gatorman Posse under Maylock, they're going to have a real bad time with
It'll be
that.
okay.
But the good news is their offensive output went through the roof with defensive strike.
Yes.
We're keeping a very close eye on it right now
Yeah.
because it's pretty strong, everybody. It's pretty strong.
But the Incinerators used to be the more offensive type
Yes.
of heavy armor, and the Bastions were more defensive. But with their brand new officer, they get shield wall now. So they're a little bit more defensive. So we wanted to try out making the Bastions
Swing to
even more
kinda do a
So
flip-flop.
yeah,
A little bit of a flip.
Yeah. So the Bastions are really good at holding zones now because if you walk in the zone, you might die.
Right.
Those kind of things.
Well, and they can still trade their wounds. Like they always did.
Yeah.
So
Oswald Dog on Twitch says, #Cossacks are people too. They're not.
they are.
No, they're not.
I mean, they are by definition.
No.
All right. What else do we got that we want to struggle about? There's been very little struggle.
There's never been a struggle on this segment.
Really?
ever.
I feel like there needs to be a struggle.
I mean, like the changes that came up yesterday were pretty interesting. We got the defensive strike. We added Roven into the theme force in terms of him, like as
He's an exemplar now.
counting
He
as an
got
exemplar.
promoted. He got an
Yep.
honorary degree.
He did. There's some clarifications, like grave resonance on the Hand of Silence. Previously, the original wording, he spent 1 soul and gave all jacks a focus.
Yeah.
And that is a weird economy.
It seems
to
legit.
take 1 soul and just sort of shred him like cheese.
That was a
and
typo, too.
sprinkle him all over the
To be
cortexes
fair,
of the nearby
souls
jacks.
are extremely potent. So.
Yeah, but they're not
Especially
that potent.
protectorate
They're not
souls.
that potent. So it was a lot of little like
They're
clerical.
like the crystal of souls.
What are?
Protectorate souls. They're high end, man.
They're like a dime a dozen.
If you go into the Crixian Soul Shop, which I'm sure is the thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it
and
has
you
to be,
look
yeah.
at the shelves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bottom shelf, definitely Cossacks.
Okay.
Mid shelf,
'Cause
like, you got
they're-
your Signarians,
they're barely
your Ordic,
people.
Yeah, you got your Signarians, your Ordic people. It's like they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Little higher shelf, I imagine that Scorn souls are probably like they're fiery. They're like the fireball of souls. They're spicy. Some
Yeah.
people like it.
Sure. I'm
You
with
can't
you.
handle a true pure soul. You get to like Protectorate though. I mean, those things are.
Where are the Cirrus souls? Because those are like super well guarded. They put them in like weird metal things.
Those are actually they're below bottom shelf. They don't even stock that.
Oh, they're in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the base. They just shuffle that to the side.
Like
I mean,
private reserve?
no. It's
No.
so bad that they won't even sell it.
Are the retribution
Like-
souls like behind
like
the counter?
convergence souls are basically rubbing alcohol.
Fair enough. All right.
Insane.
I was gonna go with potted meat, but
I mean, at some point there's going to be a struggle. I'm just trying to get there.
All right,
Oh.
I guess what we can struggle about. Well, first off, everybody watching, CID is going on right now. It's going on for about another week and a half. CID.privateerpress.com if you want to learn more about the Exemplar and play test some games and let us know what you think. And let us know if Bastions are murdering every Cossite you face. Give us your battle reports.
Yeah.
It's super useful to us. We also want to see some more Serenia battle reports. We're getting a lot of Krios too, a fair amount of Serenia. We need some more Serenia battle reports, please. So please get those in. But these new chariots that are on Bahi right now,
yeah,
which one's your favorite?
the one with the Gatling gun, of course.
No, it's the one with the big cannon.
My work here is done. Go ahead.
So Oz is pro assault chariot, Schick is pro siege chariot.
Yeah. The assault chariot has a Gatling gun that shoots grenades. That's just better than anything else that's
But
possible.
the cannon has a cannon that shoots cannons.
It might shoot man of war.
Literal cannons.
It might shoot entire man
If
of war.
it was a cannon that shot man of wars,
Like a circus
that'd be
cannon?
amazing.
Yeah, I guess it's cannon. No, but I like the Gatling gun better.
What if we made an upgrade kit for those chariots that allowed you to have the circus cannon that fired man of war?
I'm on board.
When
You're about to break the internet.
Only
Okay.
if, as the man of war is shot, you have to have, so you take the model and you trace its trajectory, and then at any point during its trajectory, it can shoot its shield cannon.
No. This is like an old 80s toy that you would buy that had the action like lever.
Yeah.
We're literally going to build this thing so it's articulated. So you put one of your man of war shock troopers or demo corps on the chariot, and there's a little thing, and you have to line the model up. Press the tab, and like it flings the man of war forward, and wherever it lands on the battlefield, first off, it has to land right side up. If it doesn't, it's
I see.
RFP'd.
Okay.
But if it lands right side up, it just lands.
What if
there.
it's just knocked down? Like, I feel like the man of war could survive the impact.
Okay, but if it lands upside down, it's RFP'd. Completely, perfectly upside down, it's RFP'd.
Like on its head?
Yeah, on its head.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's how you splatter your
down.
goose.
This is how all development works around here.
It is. It is exactly.
Pretty much
And
there.
one of those two chariots has smoke launchers. I think it's the one I like better. I can't remember.
You're a big man of war player, Oz. You have
Oh,
a
yeah,
man of war
yeah, yeah.
force. So
Yeah.
I
which
mean, he'll
chariot?
just get both.
Which chariot are you currently painting up to add to your force?
I am about to pick up the
Oh, you're about to get
the
it.
chariot, and I'm going to build the Gatling gun chariot, of course.
Which
because,
caster are you running it with?
I'm still running it with Kozlov. I know I
Kozlov
disappointed
is
some
super
players.
good.
I
No,
disappointed
he's
some players
super
during the
good.
live streams by not having a Sorsha in Man of War armor in my army, but I like Kozlov's speed a lot. I'm going to pick up a Sorsha pretty soon, but I'm probably still going to try the chariot first with Kozlov in that army.
I mean, +2 speed and unyielding is good on anything, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's never bad.
That's just value.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
And if there's one
That's
thing Man of
just
War
value.
wants,
That's just value.
it's more speed. Always.
Ian wants me. What about bombardiers, Hungy? Yeah, you could fling bombardiers out of the cannon, right?
No, that'd be OP.
With dudes with chainsaws firing grenades down at you midair.
Like, you just imagine that chainsaw slicing off all the heads as it goes, and then it gets to shoot a bomb so it can blow up and push itself further, John Woo action style. Woo woo!
What else came? Oh yeah, all the Blighted Ogrun came out. Are you guys, either one of you, building a list for those right now?
No.
I'm not at the moment because I'm working on painting more of my Gatormen. There's still stuff I have not painted for my Gatormen yet. Are you working on one? Because you have all that Legion.
I'm waiting for the cab to become available, and then once those bad boys do, I will have 2 units of them.
With who?
Anyone.
But do you have a caster in mind you want
No.
to run them with?
I don't do that.
Well,
I have all the casters, and I'll just pick whoever I want.
while Callus doesn't immediately, Callus 2 doesn't immediately have like.
But he fits theme.
That's what I'm saying.
He's Dragon
Like he
Pony,
doesn't
right?
have like
Yeah,
super
yeah.
great synergy immediately. You're not like Callus 2, grab my chosen. Like this is a match made in heaven. I mean, he can run them, but it's not like perfect. They just looked dope.
I mean,
yeah.
it is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
You should make those in Company of Iron, man.
That sounds nightmarish.
Cav in Company of Iron is a problem because of speed.
No, just make Callus 2 in Company of Iron. I'll be fine.
But what if they could take one Cav model out of a unit?
I have thought about that.
There's
Just
no way
one.
it'll go wrong.
I have thought about that.
Like you just get a chosen or a Avenger or something like that. Not the solos of the Dragoons, but like a
Yeah.
normal unit. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be another one of those articles that change point costs and stuff. So that would be a bit of a bigger
Yeah.
thing. But we have thought about at least scenarios that say, in addition to like in No Quarter 5, there's a scenario that says you get 5 free points, extra points on top of your army list. So you're playing a 30-point army or whatever.
Yeah.
But the attacker can only spend those 5 points on a journeyman, and the defender can only spend those 5 points on a weapon crew. So we have thought about scenarios that are, you take one Cav model, it's completely free, and then it has a job to do or whatever during that scenario. But we haven't.
Oh, that would be
quite
cool
got
with
there
like
yet.
the Greylord Outriders or Tempest Blazers. Where you could do like the whole like running through messenger style
Yeah.
scenario where they've got to like run. They have to cross something. They're trying to deliver a message. I mean, that's the Outriders specifically. That's kind of what they
Yeah.
do for the Greylord Covenant. And so like that could be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not like. I mean, anything in Company of Iron could take out an Outrider. Their armor's
Yeah.
low enough,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
with the boost mechanics, like it shouldn't be hard.
The problem is it's a 30 by 30 board,
Yeah.
and the speed of a guy on a
Speed
horse
9?
is generally
they can't run.
a chunk of that. His horse is
His horse
a little
is tired.
gimpy.
No, they just make
He's
it.
like-
They're speed 9. Just make it where they have repo 5. Just you can't run. Just you can't run. You are carrying something incredibly fragile, and you're trying to deliver it, and you just can't run because it might break.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Little Khador nesting dolls.
One of the other things we need to reiterate.
Yeah, reiterate it.
Struggle of
Do
wills
it.
wise. Just in case, yeah.
Is that the?
Just in case someone wasn't paying attention earlier this week, we have talked about that we are going to CID Retribution.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So not yet because we're doing exemplars right now. And all you guys in the chat that want Tharn are coming.
Yep.
The Tharn schedule. So let's address this real fast.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of chat on Facebook I've seen recently, especially in the Circle Facebook group, where so some people seem like they were getting a little upset that the Ret CID was happening. The Ret CID happening did not affect the Tharn CID schedule at all. The Tharn
Yeah.
CID schedule stayed exactly where it was. It didn't get pushed forward. It didn't get pushed back. It was right on time. We just looked at it and said, hey, we've got this block of time. So our options are take a little bit of a break or squeeze something in. We discussed a lot of different things like, community fatigue from doing CID too much, our fatigue from doing CID too much, but we realized it was manageable. It could be done,
Yeah.
and we slotted this in. So anybody that's upset for Tharn that you're having to wait, you're not having to wait any longer than you were going to already. We were just
Yeah.
helping somebody else out in between.
Yeah, the release schedule determines the CID schedule. We CID things a certain amount of months before those products hit shelves.
Yep.
And if you look at the last year, you can see how that falls down. I mean, I'm not going to say specific times because it does vary a
There's a
little
little
bit.
shift, but not much.
But Tharn are coming out when Tharn are coming out, and so their CID was scheduled. And we looked at the schedule and said, well, wow, there's a hole here. We could put another CID in and have a break on both sides. So let's reevaluate something and what should it be?
Yeah, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
Brett or Tharn?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. I'm excited for Tharn because of Chad Kaufman and Saber.
Okay.
And everyone else that plays Circle too. But they are probably two of the hypest people I've ever met about the Tharn CID. And there's a lot of really cool stuff. And Ravagers look dope.
Yeah.
And I'm
Ravagers
excited
look
for
super dope.
I'm excited for Rhett because we're getting to do something that I personally thought was going to have to wait a while until we
Yeah.
get to the next Rhett CID.
Yep.
And now we're going to get to do this sort of holistic view of a few different things and make a couple tweaks that I think overall will make the Rhett players happy.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm most excited about the Tharn CID because it means I might be able to fit a little bit more in my blood pack Company of Iron Army.
Yeah, there you go. Like it.
Maybe.
Sorry, I knocked my little thingy over.
I thought you were going to pretend like you were driving a boat.
I thought you were summoning a spell.
No, we don't practice the voodoo live on stream because if anybody ever sees you do it, you lose your soul.
You don't need to practice anymore. You've got it locked down.
I mean, I do.
All right. And with that, I think we will conclude this struggle of wills. Less of a struggle, more of a conversation.
It's
There
always
was a little bit of struggle.
a little bit.
You're
Not
just a
much.
rabble rouser. You're trying to.
I
shake
just
it up.
want the segment to live up to its name, the struggle of wills. Next time, if there's no struggle, we're arm wrestling.
Dude,
Okay.
I will leg wrestle you on top of this
No,
table.
arm wrestle.
No,
You can't leg wrestle.
no. We have to get green suits that don't cover our heads, and we have to fight back there. So it's just our heads flying around.
Wait, hold on.
in a
Why
weird
can't you
way.
leg wrestle on top of the table?
That table will break.
We need a better table.
It's not in the
Chick,
budget.
buy me a new table.
Solid table.
I'm not buying you a new table.
So everyone, I will be starting a GoFundMe shortly for
for
the
leg wrestle
for
table?
the
Leg
Schick
wrestle
Hungerford leg wrestle table on live stream.
It's the will leg wrestle table. Like
He's not gonna leg wrestle you.
everyone must.
It's all wills.
Okay.
All wills must leg wrestle.
One of the things I'm seeing a couple people like losing their mind about is show us Iona. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if people want to see Iona,
There's a way
Pay
to do it
atten-
this weekend.
pay attention to what Doug Hamilton might have to say while he's at the Greek Masters
Yep.
this weekend.
The Greek Masters
There you
may
go.
just be your ticket to Iona goodness.
There you go.
And by may, I mean totally will be.
Yep.
So, yeah, tomorrow.
Wait, is he
Tune
playing?
in.
Is he playing Iona?
no,
no.
but he did Sculptor,
Yeah.
so
He's
he
got a
might
little
have
present
something to
for
show.
the Greek Masters that will
Oh.
probably get spread everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be on the internet immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Iona, she's sweet. Watch for her this weekend. Struggle of Wills concluded.
Legionnaire says Greek Masters as in Greece. Yeah, Doug Hamilton's in Greece
Yeah.
right now.
Doug Hamilton, globetrotter.
He does though. Like he goes to the Czech
just
Republic, he
try
goes to
low.
Greece.
Yeah.
Like he gets around. He likes to go to the tournaments, which is dope.
So
right.
we're good.
Yeah, drums.
Well, I think we're
drums
good.
And stuff.
Drums.
And for anybody watching right now, more Monpox soon, but we're not ready to. We did the Insider this week. Souls did
There
his
was-
Q&A on the
Yep.
on the brand
Yesterday,
new launch
which,
Monpox forums.
which we left up so people can
Yeah.
see. He's not answering any more questions at this time,
Yep.
but you can see what was asked, what was answered.
But hopefully we'll get to show some more models soon, and as soon as we get a couple more components, I want to get it on a Tuesday live stream. Like,
Oh yeah, play it.
It'll happen.
It'll be coming.
It'll
Yeah,
happen.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna go back
All
to
right.
work.
Have fun, Mr. Hungerford. All right, next up,
Dubba da dubba da dubba dubba da dubba da dubba dubba da dubba da dubba. Huh.
I'm going to say that my hand motion summoned the drums.
oh, it did.
Yeah, even though it was in the wrong direction, it should have been here. But it was here.
You just. Uh-oh, it's a test pattern.
Oh,
Is that
what
bad?
happened? What happened? We're
Did you
back.
break,
Oh,
did
there
your
we go.
hands break?
Man,
the
I hope
internet?
so. I hope so.
It's what I have for a transition.
Sure, I like it.
All right,
Next segment.
next segment. Lead us in,
This one
co-host.
doesn't. This one doesn't have a name.
Temporary code. It doesn't.
This one doesn't
It's
have any
called
kind of name. It's called upcoming shows. We need
Upcoming shows.
We need to figure out a name.
I
for
feel
this.
like, no, I think it's fine. I think upcoming shows with Justin Robert.
How about
And then-
conversations with a con man?
just yeah, there you go.
I mean, yeah, I don't know that it's going to deliver on that, though.
Convo with a con man.
I wonder how many
Hi,
JRs in the world there are stands for Robert.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Regardless, they're always a
It's
Robert.
always Robert.
We're
J-Bob.
talking about favorite things. My favorite thing about
When
Me?
were we talking about favorite things?
we were talking about
Oz's
favorite
favorite
things.
thing about
like
me.
Favorite chariot. It is my favorite thing about you. My favorite thing about this situation right now is
It's my hat.
We're both named Will,
Yep,
and we both have a best friend from high school named JR.
that's true.
My JR lives in Arizona.
All wills are basically the same.
And it doesn't work in this office with us on a daily basis.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he could bring some extra IT manpower to the place to
to
help Liz out a
IT
bit.
man?
Yeah. IT man.
Like
But yeah.
IP man? Ipman?
But when I come home from work
kung
and I'm
fu.
like, JR said today, and she's like, which JR? I'm like, I
I have to
don't
divide
daily
it, yeah.
interact with the JR you know. I interact with this other JR in the beanie.
In the
Because the
beanie?
beanie is now,
Beanie JR?
he's like weaved that
BJR?
beanie into his hair.
It
it doesn't
woven.
really come off anymore.
I grew
no.
it.
You've been wearing that since Tuesday, haven't you?
You wove it out of your
Tuesday,
beard.
actually, at Gamma.
He grew the beanie, and
It
then
was
off
in
world
March.
Like
was
copied
ooh.
it.
I grew it and said, I need this. I
Yeah.
need this to be reality.
So they shaved it off of him.
Oh wow! And you
And
had to
he grew
regrow
another
it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, it only takes like 20 minutes.
Like
It
some
is
sort of
pretty fast.
alpaca? Anyway, segment-wise, if you want to see JR's
Like a
beanie
convention alpaca.
in real life and touch it, you'll be able to
touch
do
it.
that
No,
at some upcoming
don't do that.
shows.
No, the next upcoming show is Lock and Load, and I'm going to be running around like a madman. Don't stroke my
I mean,
head.
your beanie's
That's-
going to be really moist.
I don't like any of this part.
It'd be great.
Wait,
Conversations
hand me that
with a
bottle
sad
of blazing
con
ink.
man.
I can do the sound effect for that. Like what it'll sound like.
Do we have a soundboard?
That's gross.
I don't.
That's
I don't
the
like
sound
this.
of
That's the sound of sorrow.
Sweat beanie right there.
That is.
Sweat
Sweat
beanie
beanie.
sorrow.
So yeah, Lock and Load's coming up in how many days? What's the countdown?
You should know this.
Not enough.
What does that mean? Like
It
it
means
can't
that-
be here fast enough.
It
That's
means
true.
that I'm trying to get more and more and more
I mean,
awesome stuff added in there for people.
I think we should move it up to next week.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Well, but what
the
about all those
Hilton has got us locked in.
The waiting is not worth it. We must have it now.
No.
Immediate gratification.
No
Immediately.
immediate gratification.
I need all
You
the
wait for
amazingness
it
of
and
Lock and Load.
that
I
way-
might get a Muppet. The internet's going to help me out.
You are a Muppet.
I mean, that's
That's
true,
what
but
I
I'm going to
said.
get a real Muppet.
Too many easy conversations to go with
So yeah,
that.
Lock and Load is June 22nd
Second through the 24th.
Yeah.
It'll be in Bellevue at the Hilton.
Tickets are still available
Tickets are, we're getting close.
for like a week.
No, tickets
it's
are
not-
available up until the last day of
Oh,
the show.
okay.
Yeah, you can
it's
walk up and
shipped
come in.
tickets. I have to turn that off about a month before the show, just so I have time to get all the shipped tickets out to everybody. It's a strange phrase to keep repeating.
And there's
shipped
still
tickets.
some room in several of the events.
Still some room, not a lot of room left. But with that, I would encourage anybody who is excited to get into an event, put your name on the wait list, and then show up when that event is supposed to start.
I mean, I've almost-
inevitably,
Yeah.
Best advice.
inevitably somebody forgot and they signed up 2 events for the same time and they do one and not the other, and so now there's a spot. Or somebody maybe enjoys the evening a bit too much and is not able to make it
oversleeps.
to an early
Yeah.
start time.
Yeah.
It can
Oversleeping
happen.
happens. It definitely is a thing.
And when we say events, we're not just talking tournaments.
We're not talking
Nope.
tournaments. We're talking the hangouts. So we did a little bit different format this year to try to make sure that it's a bit more intimate. I know.
Are we going to have candles?
No?
There
candles.
needs
Is there
Candles.
going to be? Is there going to be?
You're not
velvet?
in. I don't
Oh,
believe
velvet.
Any of
Can
the
we
hangouts.
velvetize the place?
Velvetize?
Velvetize.
I will allow you to velveteen it, but I will not allow you to velvetize it.
Just take your hand
I'm
and rub it over the velvet.
I'm
You'll
not
know what
gonna
we're
do
talking
that.
about.
I'm not
No,
doing
you got to
that.
do it.
No.
Come on.
In fact, I'm
on.
actively going to put my hands on my own legs.
You are the worst guest.
What about this?
This, I mean,
That's
it's
not
soft,
velvet.
but it's not velvet.
It's not velvet.
I mean, that is.
So
velvet.
when we
this
talk
is,
about-
this is basically
That is
velvet,
velvet.
right here,
Right
here.
there. That's
Yeah.
But there's also RPG events. There's board game
RPG events,
It
board
would
game
be
events.
even more so if someone makes the chic Muppet.
I mean, yeah.
I'm
the
not
Chick
touching
Muppet
that.
Would
It's
be
no,
incredible.
absolutely not. There's no. So yes, RPG events. There's going to be board game events. You actually have a sweet narrative event that's going to be going on Friday and Saturday.
So if you guys watched the live stream last year of Boardgate, great big giant table, 16 players.
It
Or if
was
you played in
impressive.
It was impressive. We're mixing that up a little bit this year and doing 16 players still, but we're doing it at 4 different tables with 4 people playing Company of Iron
Yep.
at each table. And anybody who was at Adepticon, you guys kind of got a preview play test for what that scenario is going to be like.
And it looks like Rikers has a question about, for the RPG Strange Light events, we will actually have pre-made characters for everybody. So it will be run by Josh Colon. He will be running the Strange Light event, and we'll have pre-made characters, everything all set up and ready for you guys. So you guys just need to show up and have a good time.
I'm so hyped for that.
I am too. I hope that I am able to at least run in, see it for a little bit, and then run away.
Yeah.
And Keynote will indeed start the show off. Should be listed on the event page, so that way we can start the thing off true Keynote style. A lot of kind of
There's-
fun reveals.
There's a lot of stuff. I'm working with Tony on it right now, and yeah, we're pulling together assets.
And you can see that schedule as well as sign up for events and get tickets at pplockandload.com.
Thank you, Radio Voice.
I like it.
So it'll be a
It's
good
so
time.
smooth.
It is. Velvet?
Smooth and
Is it velvety?
It's not.
Velvet.
It's velveteen.
It's
Thank you,
smooth-
Velveteen
it's
voice.
Smooth
It's-
like a protectorate soul.
Like a rabbit?
Like Velveeta.
Like Velveeta.
Only when it's melted. Otherwise, it's just
I would
sticky.
agree it was cheesy.
That's what I was going for.
Ooh.
There we
Okay,
go.
and then after Lock and Load, as exciting as Lock and Load is and how gigantic of a
So after Lock and
looming
Load-
terror
There
it
is no after lock. There's only lock and load.
Sure.
So after Lock and Load, we take a bit of time to recover because
Like
it's
3 weeks.
Yeah. And then we go to Indianapolis.
Gen Con.
It'll be a good time. Gen
Woo,
Con.
woo.
So last year was Gen Con 50th. So if anybody is looking to
Gen
get
Con
their badges,
51.
they need to go ahead and start looking at their badges.
Wait, what? Looking at badges?
Yeah, get their badges now.
No, they have to get their badges, not look at badges.
I mean, they can look at the
You
badge.
can look at a badge all
Look
you
at the
want. That
badge,
doesn't
then
do
buy the
anything.
badge.
You need
Do
action.
both.
We need action, man.
Action Man?
Karate grip.
Action Man!
To go back to Lock and Load for just a brief
Whoa.
moment to answer some of the questions that are
Reversing
in
time.
chat.
Yes.
Yes, there will be streaming at Lock and Load.
Yes.
So the
That's why I
streaming
need my
schedule-
Muppet.
You're not a Muppet.
No,
the streaming
I need a
schedule
Muppet.
will start off with the keynote. Then we're going to go into the narrative event. Friday night will be Iron Painter with Pat
my Muppet?
Sajak here.
What?
I
No,
will
no,
probably
no,
be
no,
Vanna
no,
White
no.
again. That is a role that I am
Definitely
very
not the
suited for.
Sajak.
Oh, you're
No,
Sajak.
I'm not a Sajak.
Will Sajak.
I'm more of a
and so
Trebek.
then on Saturday, we'll
Will
start
Sajak.
off by
That
doing
sounds like a
the
private eye.
live streams of Masters. And so we'll do Masters through that day.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Sunday, we've got the last two rounds, or nope. I'm reversing that. On Saturday is the last two rounds of Masters. It's the semis and the finals. Then we start with Iron Gauntlet.
Yep.
Yes.
And so we'll run Iron Gauntlet rounds 1, 2, 3, and then on Sunday we'll run rounds 4 and 5, and then we'll actually be live streaming our closing ceremonies as well. Last year we weren't able to get the live stream to work for that, so this year we will be live streaming our closing ceremonies.
Yes, indeed.
Sweet.
And that the schedule for all the live streaming stuff should be up on Twitch in I want to say about a week and a half at the latest.
Perfect.
And Chad has questions about purchasing Crucible Guard at Lock and Load.
It'll be there.
We will have it there, and we
From
will
his mouth to my
Yes.
shelves.
And we will give you guys any more details about that kind of stuff as we get closer to the date.
So realistically, the next Primecast Live will be me talking about what cool stuff will be at Lock and Load once we're a
So
little bit
much cool
closer.
stuff.
There's a lot.
Yep.
I hear rumor that Hollow Holden will be there.
He might make an appearance. Just in time for his 1-year anniversary of betrayal and sadness.
You mean joining the ranks of the awesome?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he definitely went to the right
He
team.
got a little buddy.
A
He
buddy
did,
who
I mean,
stabs
the,
him
The buddy that pokes
over
him.
and over again.
He doesn't have
He
feelings
basically got a
anymore.
persistent head cold.
That's not a head cold. That's a
is.
head gremlin. He might be cold.
You can get rid of head gremlins.
But
with
to
a
go back to
shampoo.
Gen Con.
Back to
Gen
Gen Con.
Con.
So Gen Con, August 2nd through the 5th. So look at your badges now. We will
Get
have...
your badges. Don't look at them.
Look at
look
them.
Look at them isn't
Look at
useful.
them. Use your
Ooh,
eyeballs.
look
Look,
at
at
my
it.
badge.
Buy it. Acquire it. Make the badge yours.
Use your karate grip and grab a badge and hold on to it. 'cause
I
you'll need
prefer
it.
Kung Fu grip.
That you purchase, not that you steal or
Don't
threaten.
don't make a badge yourself. Don't like crayons and
No,
construction paper
the
a badge.
security they will
Frowned
take you
on.
down with extreme
GenCon.com.
grudges.
It's real easy. Go register for your badge. Get your badge.
Click buy a badge.
Yeah.
And then come see us.
And
Yes,
then
We'll be there.
We'll be
Come-
there. Brand new configuration for the booth. We'll actually be running over in events. We'll have Masters and Champions. We'll have Scrambles with Iron Arena. And then we actually are going to be running both Caster Draft,
The new
so
one.
brand new,
Yeah.
brand new
Yeah.
format, and we have another narrative event.
Another one. Did you know about this?
I
Because your
don't-
face kind of says that
Dude,
this
I
was
don't-
news to you.
Gen Con's so far away. I don't
I
know.
would say we talked about Gen Con a while ago, so it'll actually be a variant on some of our previous narrative events.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But another big thing about Gen Con is Monster Apocalypse, right?
I
Jared?
would say
What?
we have.
What did you
right?
say? I didn't
Mon-
hear anything.
Monster-
No, but
Apocalypse?
what?
We shortened the Mon Apocalypse around here.
We do.
It was also cake at one point.
It was.
Delicious cake.
It was.
Delicious,
Everything has a
delicious
food
cake.
code name for a little while.
It really does.
I mean, if it was backwards, it'd be Copnom.
That's what he said. So, Monpoc at Gen Con?
Potentially.
Yeah. We're still working on that. The release date is a little bit after Gen Con, so pre-releases at Gen Con is the plan. Crossing fingers, all those things.
I mean, I would just say get your badge and make sure to be there, or be square
Like
like this.
L7 square?
That's a rectangle.
No, you're doing it wrong.
These guys.
This is like a poorly drawn square with extra lines.
Remember
You're
how
a poorly drawn
Remember
square.
how we were staying on target?
This is rude. Yeah, do you remember what happened when you stay
That
on
guy
target?
exploded.
This
Stay
is
on
what
target.
happens when you stay on target.
Crash and burn.
Hey JR, is there anything else you'd
get
like to
shot
mention
down.
about upcoming shows?
Ooh,
Maybe
there's
something we
more
haven't said about
more
Lock and
Gen
Load?
Con.
Maybe
the
something
event
about
schedule is
Gen Con?
going up soon for Gen Con, right?
The events are going live, I believe, on May 6th. So
So there you go.
Sunday.
Imminently. Yeah.
Imminently.
So yeah, definitely
So,
go look there. I
karate
think
grip your
there's-
ticket. Sign up
Kung
for
Fu
events.
grip. Karate is
Karate
not
grip.
about the grip. It's the open hand.
Karate grip your ticket.
That'd be like a karate slap.
Sign up.
Karate chop your badge.
4 events. There's some amazing events we got planned.
Yes.
Oz is going to make the best of the best of the best of narrative scenarios, apparently.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, that's what I heard, right? This is...
He said narrative scenario, and he looked at me in a way that I don't
that
know what
says
it
that
was
you're
supposed
making
to
the best of the best of the best narrative scenario that people have ever experienced. So if you don't get your tickets, you will miss out on the greatest narrative experience of your life.
Oz is actually just going to narrate your life.
Reality
to
itself
say,
is going to fold in on
We
itself
will
from
remake
the
your
amazingness.
entire existence.
Oz is going to
and
make an
narrate it.
awesomeness black hole from this scenario.
I just
so
want,
be there.
I just want Doug to be there, and I
What?
want Doug to be randomly showing up at tables and then discussing what happens with the people in a narrative way as they play their game.
What's going to happen is actually we're going to make Doug be part of your like backpack configuration, straight up Master Blaster style, and instead of discussing, he will be disgusting.
Oh, I don't really know what that means, but
I don't think
It
he's
means
on board
Gen
for
Con.
that.
we're going to use grape jelly to attach him.
but
to your
before
back.
that, I
It
would
will be
definitely
gross.
suggest showing up to Lock and Load.
Yes.
Because one, who doesn't want to realize this in real life, the
Yeah.
madness,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
two,
for lock and load, instead
What?
of touching my hat, they could touch your face and get some of that velvety goodness.
I mean, there's enough to go around, people.
Last year we had the Hug a Hungerford event, so this year could be Touch a Schick.
You're gonna have to work on that. You're gonna have to work on that.
Conversation with a comment. So by next Primecast, I will have
Yeah.
a better name for
You're
that.
gonna have to have a better name for that event.
I will
'cause
have
that's
a better
not
name for that
hard.
Does
event.
not condone any
And-
non-consensual touching of any person at Lock and Load, Gen Con, or any other event.
I'll have a better name for that, and I'll have a better name for this segment.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll work on
All
that.
right.
And,
sounds good.
And if you want to play any casual games with us at Lock and Load, that's another great reason to come to the show.
Yeah.
Like
We'll be
Rikers,
around.
Rikers Iron and I are already going to play Company of Iron at some
Mm-hmm.
point. He's challenged me on the tweets or something.
On
the tweets?
And that is all I'm bringing. I'm probably bringing a bag with like 6 different Company of Iron armies in it.
I'm
And
bringing the thunder.
You realize that whenever somebody puts an S after something that doesn't have an S that belongs to it, that means they don't understand the thing.
that or
Sure.
their age
Like,
goes up by
why
about 30
not?
years.
They're like, oh, you saw that on the internet. Like,
all the
you
interwebs.
clearly don't understand what that is. You're just using it in
A
context.
series of
'cause you think
tubes
it matters
delivered
here.
that to you.
Yeah.
Twitter is basically just a series of tubes.
Yeah.
For amazing content.
And there's going to be bananas involved.
There's gonna be bananas
Rikers.
involved?
There's going to be bananas involved. He challenged. He
Challenge you to a banana hawk?
Hey guys, it's been a pleasure.
What is
the bananas
happening
I think
here?
are my cue to get out of
Get
here.
outta
This
here.
is
Get outta
getting
here.
weird.
Yeah.
I'm good on potassium.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, JR.
You're welcome.
We'll see you on the next one. There you go.
Double the double the double 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 the double the double double the double the double.
All right. And with that, we've gone through all of our segments.
That is it, right? There's only
That
one
is it.
piece of paper on this clipboard.
There is. This is it. So, big news for next month. We're going to be back. We're going to be talking about Man of War and all of the cool releases there because the big armored troopers from the Northland finally come down to,
Yep.
wreck
Yep.
face. We've got Monster Apocalypse more to come. Like we talked about a little bit on the stream, there's a ton of stuff that's going to start to roll out here. We already had our first kind of forum Q&A with lead developer Jason Souls. I know that you just got delivered a bunch of those squiggly
I was
monsters.
just handed
Yeah, because I saw Dallas with them in his hand yesterday.
one starter worth of units, which is 4 Belchers,
Yep.
one's an elite, and a crawler.
Yeah,
So I'm going to paint those, and I'm waiting on my Gorgadger.
yeah. And I got a bunch of little tanks on my desk, so I got a lot of G tanks. So one of the struggles of wills that's probably going to happen is which side is better, which agenda is the bestest agenda, and it's clearly robots.
Yeah, and all that's working up to us playing it on the live stream some Tuesday in the near future.
And I know that Dallas is going to be painting his own stuff here soon on the stream. So there's a ton of like really awesome content that's coming that way. We're going to be talking about a lot more on Primecast
Somebody
next month,
needs
I'm sure.
to get me whenever they're ready. I need Lords of Cthulhu so I can paint them. And play.
Okay. There's a little bit of time until they'll be ready. Like
I know, but
they're
I'm just
still
saying.
getting finalized in Sculpt,
I'm
but
just
it's
saying,
happening.
I need that. I would also take pterosaurs as a very close.
But
second.
you guys have seen Terracon
You have
Yes.
seen Terracon.
And all
That
of
was
his-
that was my thing.
all of his glory.
Yeah.
So
little
that
Terracon.
insider that has the preview
And-
image is still currently the front page one on
Yep.
PrivateerPress.
And it also is where the link to the forum FAQ is?
Yes,
Absolutely.
So if you want to jump in and see what you missed yesterday,
Yep.
you can do that. And we're going to be compiling that information, I think, into a single document, so you don't have to go through all of the pages because I think it got up pretty high. That'll be coming in probably the next week.
Yep.
So lots of cool Monster Apocalypse stuff. I'm super excited to start painting my little G tanks. I haven't quite decided if they're going to be red, white, and blue or red and gold. But they're going to be one of those two.
I really like the studio scheme for Planet Eaters, but this being a hobby game, you can do whatever you want with
You
it.
can.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do something completely different.
And one of the big things that I have to think about now, which I think is really fun but also challenging, is whatever I paint for my guard stuff kind of has to transfer over to the cool pterosaurs because I'm putting dinosaurs with my tanks.
Well, but you could just make it crazy hodgepodge.
It could be hodgepodge, but I feel like it'll be
yeah.
more fun if, I love Dallas's idea that he's going to do with his pterosaurs. He's going to give them all little army helmets.
Yeah.
And make them like little guard guys. I think that's amazing.
You should just put trees and things on the front of your tanks like they've been driving through the woods.
I mean, if I had the models, I probably would just take the turrets off the tanks and put dinosaur tops on them, so they'd be riding the tanks with tank treads. That'd be pretty sweet. But sadly, I'm gonna have to figure out a color scheme that's gonna unify everything because they're gonna be dinosaurs with my robots because that's the best combination ever. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Any last thoughts? Any last words?
No. It's been nice to hang out with you
Yeah,
guys
it was
this
lovely
Friday.
to have you as a co-host.
Yeah.
Make sure that you guys join us for all of our streams. We have weekly streams, 3 of them every week at least, including Primecast Live, which happens once a month on the first Friday of the month.
Yeah.
So we've got our weekly Rumble.
We keep them all at 10 a.m.
Yep,
Pacific
all at 10
time,
a.m.
so that
Pacific time.
it's an easy schedule to memorize.
And you can find us on Twitch or Facebook Live. Tuesdays, we have our weekly Rumble, where you get to see staff members throw down in a game. It's always zany, it's always crazy, and usually there's a lot of shrieking at each other as dice come up bad or good.
And sometimes those are previews of new games.
Sometimes
those are. We've played a couple of games of full-on War Machine or Hordes.
And I still have a game to play against Pagani when he finally gets off vacation because we have to decide who won the last 4-man little event that we had. So we'll be doing that soon. But weekly Rumbles, Tuesdays at 10. Then we've got Dev Hangouts where you can talk with Hungerford, Oz, Pagani, about all things development related. So mostly they cover CID, those changes. If you want to know more about what's going on with the games, it's a great place to hang out on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. And then last but not least, my favorite stream, pretty much everyone's favorite stream for the most part, Get Your Paint On with Dallas and Brendan. They come in and they basically paint models that they're working on, whether they're studio models, their own personal models. They talk about all things painting-wise and everything else. A lot of pancake talk, a lot of arguments about otters versus hedgehogs. It's a great one to just turn on and listen to. So yeah, check us out, subscribe, like us, all that stuff. Make sure you don't miss an episode. If you do miss an episode, they are all cataloged on YouTube on our Private Jet Press Prime channel. So there's tons of ways to check stuff out. But it's always great to jump in, join the streams. You get to talk to us, we get to talk back. We're crazy for the people who watch it in archive. So again, thank you very much, guys, for joining us. That's it for Primecast episode 53. We will see you on the next one.
Cheddar Caveman says, "Why choose hedgehogs or otters?" That's where I am.
I mean, that's fair. I don't know. It apparently was just a thing.
I mean, if we're doing the real argument that we